What's up, guys? Sub-Zeric here, and set 12 dropped today. If you guys live under a rock or don't care about TFT content, you log on to TFT. If you're one of those people who doesn't like playing PvE because, I don't want to log into all my PvE account and all that stuff, then you can log in right now and play set 12. It's already been out for quite a few hours. You can already see we're watching Phoenix today, and he already has quite a few games played, and this is like midway into his stream, so he has some more played. So some people with the most games played have a lot of games already. But yeah, it's looking to be actually a pretty solid release patch. There are a lot of different viable lines, some weaker than others. Of course, it's TFT, but overall there doesn't seem to be anything that is insanely out of line, though I do want to talk about the comp that Phoenix ends up playing this game, and you can already start to see why he wanted to angle this line this game. He gets a Kassadin 2 here at 1-4, so we can already say, I'm certainly down to play around Kassadin this game. And it just so happens that after, people have looked at the stats and played a lot of TFT, they have found that Kassadin and Multistriker in general, Reroll, is one of the best possible lines that you can be in. So, augment-wise here, a lot of options. We roll our first option, which was Category 5. Category 5 is actually fantastic augmented. We do have even the Gwinsu Category 5 set up here, but the problem is it doesn't really work on Kassadin. Phoenix already wants to play Kassadin in this spot, because, why not? We have a Kassadin too. We would love to play Multistriker reroll this game. So we reroll that. We get Higher Education. Well, I don't want to take that. Sterix Gauge, not really amazing on Kassadin either. Big Gains is actually maybe a consideration, but not something that you'd be too crazy about, I would think, but certainly something that you could consider. Clear Mind, once again, not something that I would be that happy to take. I would actually just take Big Gains here, just because we really want to, in my head, play for Kassadin in this game. You could take Clear Mind and play a fast 8 type gameplay into Kaisa, not Kaisa carry. Is there even a Kaisa in this set? Callista carry, but I don't love Clear Mind that much, so and I'm happy to take Big Gains here and play around this this comp. But I believe that's not necessarily what happens here. Yeah, Phoenix rolls the augment there, and was looking at that Clear Mind setup, but then he gets Keepers here, and so he says, okay, with Keepers I actually can really think about playing this setup here. We are going to get Portal in as our opener here, and we are going to look to play towards Kassadin. Gwinsu's Rage Blade is going to end up getting slammed here because that's a pretty good item overall, and then we're going to make Sunfire Cape, keeping this Cloak open. I love this. Not only does this give us the anti-heal that you want almost every single time that you're playing TFT, because healing just exists in the game, but this also leaves Cloak open. This can be Cloak for Quicksilver, it can be Cloak for BT. These are the type of items that you tend to want on melee carries, especially a melee carry like Kassadin, who has this kind of on hit effect. So yeah, Gwinsu's fantastic on him, and this is our idea, is that we're going to play towards Multi-Strikers this game. I think it makes perfect sense, and you guys are going to see why this comp is so highly regarded. It's either a Kassadin reroll comp or a Jax Ash reroll comp. So this version, because we have this Kassadin 2 so early, is going to be more of a fast level 6, and then can you even call it fast 6, but a level 6 reroll version of the comp, where we're going to push 6, roll for a bunch of Kassadins. If we pick up Ashes and Jaxes on the way, sure, but we aren't really interested in 3-starring them, just because it's gonna be hard to find them 3-star on level 6. But yeah, you're gonna push 6 and play around this Kassadin. So that's the idea. I am a little bit, I'm talking about our game plan, because I did do that. I did ask people in that last video what they think about me spoiling comps and stuff like that, and I do think I would personally say that, and there's no way we're actually playing this in that spot, but I think he's probably just showing that to a viewer or something. QSS or BT, like I said, the 2 items that you'd love to pick up here. Can't get either, and you can see he's a little bit upset about that. So what do you even take here? Tier for a redemption maybe or something? I don't really want to make anything here, but we'll see. Certainly I'm down to level here just to get another unit in and try to keep our streak here. Do we have? We do have a Bastion that we can play, which is really insane stats with all of the HP that we're getting off Keepers here. But yeah, I heard you guys say that mostly you guys don't want me to spoil the comp, so I'm not going to spoil comp too much, but obviously in a spot like this, we start the game with a Kassadin 2. I'm going to talk about the Kassadin line, but I'm not going to, I'll try my best in VODs not to quote unquote spoil what we end up playing. I'll go in with an open mind into the VOD, though I am still going to keep the info in the description for some people, because I know some people just want to know what the video's about, which, fair enough. You guys are giving me your time. You only have so much time on this earth, and you're spending it watching TFT videos. And hey, if you enjoy that, then, that's what it's all about. But also, call your parents or go to the gym or something. If you haven't gone outside today, maybe just like touch grass a little bit after you watch the video, of course. But yeah, I mean, we are just cruising through the stage 2. You can already sort of see the power in this Kassadin. He's very, very healthy throughout these fights, doing okay damage, but he's only going to get better. We don't even really have any synergies active for him. I guess we have the portal for him right now, but we don't even have the Multistriker in, which is really going to start doing work for him. So yeah, I'm just excited to see where this game goes, how the rolling looks. I would assume, honestly, at this point, that Phoenix is committed to this comp, but I guess we'll see what he thinks of this position. Okay, so this is actually interesting as well, itemization-wise here. We have dropped another cloak here, and I almost want to hold cloak here. I mean, here we can actually do a little stats delve here, because you know I now that we're the set is out, we can do more delving into the stats. I think will be very helpful, because you know this is what people talked about on PBE, some kind of BT Gwinsu QSS, and we can see these are the most built items by far, and they all have negative delta. So I mean that looks very reasonable to me. Other alternatives, maybe an Archangels. You can see a lot of these have positive delta, but not too bad. Even something like a Rabadon's Death Cap or like a Gunblade doesn't look half bad. So yeah, interesting. I wonder if there's any kind of like you can sort by delta and see if there's any kind of insane tech. RFC looks really good apparently, which makes sense, and you know all of these other ones. Seeker's Arm Guard actually really good. But yeah, certainly seems like QSS BT Gwinsu is the build here. So I fully expect to see a Protector's Vow end up getting made here, and then we just hold on to these double cloaks for these Kassadin items. The only question is, where does the Protector's Vow go late game? But I don't know. You have to play some kind of tank eventually. Looks like Phoenix was maybe like lamenting selling the Rise or something like that, but I don't know. I mean, I think Rise, based upon the early statistics that I've looked at, seems like one of the weakest forecasts. It seems like you don't really want to be playing towards Rise if you don't have to, and so I don't think I'd be that excited with Rise, especially when we have this fantastic Kassadin spot. Support Golem seems like a fantastic option here. Maybe combat bandages as well. When I have a melee carry, I love to take this, especially because we have keepers as well. So there's another unit. Obviously, a lot of support items you can just throw on the front line and be very happy with. If we get like the Quicksilver, the Banshees, then we just don't even have to build that. So like that's another thing. So I would default towards this. It's even better than support cash, right? Because it gives you a unit. And we get Randuins. I mean, that is disgusting for us. Okay, so here's actually a question. We're pushing 6 here. Do you roll in this situation? Because tempo has been pushed up a lot to this set, especially with the introduction of charms. You're really incentivized to roll a lot in positions like these. I'm pretty sure I would roll here for at least 3 Multistriker, because you don't really have an amazing in on this board here. I guess his idea is throw Vanguard in here, but I'd be pretty happy to roll a bit. End up picking up Multistriker to get it in here. I wonder if you cut Portal, or like I honestly kind of feel like I might cut Portal here, and my board would be like 3 Multistriker plus these 2, and then like I don't even know what my other in is, like random Witchcraft maybe. Like I don't even hate that. But this is just what I'm thinking, is that tempo I feel like is actually quite high. This set, Phoenix is trying to figure out just how to get his entire board positioned nicely. This positioning scares me a little bit, but we'll see if this ends up being it. But I really feel like the roll here makes way too much sense to not go for. Yeah, the only thing I don't love about this positioning, though it's maybe going to be fine here, is that there's a decent chance this Kassadin receives aggro. Yeah, especially in a spot like this. I mean, this fight was just positioning diff. Yeah, I mean, I wonder if maybe we're going to still win the fight just because Galio's a beast. But I mean, I feel like with better position we could have won this fight, but this positioning actually really let us down. The problem with this positioning, I mean, it's not versus every board, but the problem here is just with our main carry on the edge here. He ends up receiving, like if there's units here, he's going to take full aggro, and the really bad thing is we received zillion aggro in this situation. So actually a little bit of a miss here. This feels bad, but you know, obviously it's early set. Playing perfect TFT even at the end of a set when, you know, everyone's a beast is very difficult. And hey, maybe you can argue that we would lose this fight anyway, but I mean, I mean, I certainly think if our Kassadin had lived and we hadn't got him zillion bombed instantly, we could have won this fight. But you know, still a fantastic spot. So we can be pretty happy with it. And yeah, there's the Multistriker to get in. So yeah, we only really need to roll once to find it. And he does end up keeping the portal in here. So the other option would be like cut. Like, I really feel like Bastion's actually better than Portal here, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't actually know. And yeah, he's talking about potentially getting Vanguard in here over the Bastion, which I think makes sense. It's a little bit of, like, just the Armor Damar into your entire team feels really good here, but maybe the idea is that Portal's strong. It's really hard comparing Portal with other traits, because, like, There's no thing that just says like this is what Portal gives you. There are like kind of loot tables for the stuff that drops out of the Portal, but not really. So it's one of the hardest to sort of like gauge how strong it is versus other stuff. Sword here is exactly what we want for the BT, like we've talked about. It actually gets yoinked at the last second there, which feels really, really bad, but all good. There's a Galio 2 that we can play around for now. Certainly want to hold this Jax for more Multistriker. 5 Multistriker could be in our near future. There's another Jax, which feels good. I mean, this doesn't really actually do anything. So yeah, I think rolling over that actually makes some amount of sense. And then, yeah, we're going to get an upgraded Portal unit here. So I like this. We ended up getting to a pretty upgraded board. We found the Galio 2 and this Jace 2 to play around. So the board actually looks quite good now. I do think, like, if we roll a little bit deeper, I don't see why we couldn't have 100 streaked to this point. But yeah, like I said, it's really, really hard to play like perfect TFT right now. So I understand that. We lose the coin flip, sadly. You can roll a little bit here because we've already picked up a charm. So no need. And ooh, a little bit of flex play here, holding onto this Nay Sus here. I mean, it's probably better than than that guy right now. Yeah, exactly. It's Pyro, which is like an okay synergy, but the Shapeshifter onto a Jace 2 is fantastic. It's a better unit than the Mordekaiser, so yeah, I think this is certainly our strongest board here. The question is going to be, what is our board going to end up being in down the line? I think a lot of people are really into just playing as many Multistrikers as you can, so it'll be interesting to see if we end up finding 5 Multistriker, as we just did here, when we end up fitting that in. Potentially like a Bastion here. Ooh, we're holding on to the Shen here, just because he fits in very well on the board. I think this is exactly what Raimplosion played when we watched her play it as well. She played the Shen just because he's a Pyro and a Bastion, so it fits well onto the board. And ooh, this could be a spot here. Oh, that's huge for us. Ooh, just Akali's, but hey, not the end of the world. You could even... I'm surprised he's not even thinking about holding that Akali. Okay, he does end up holding it. I think that makes sense. And yeah, I like this pretty aggressive roll down here to see, like, if we had found 2 Kassadins in that roll down, I absolutely would have been happy just sending it to 0. Okay, so we have this cloak still. No QSS component. We do have Static Shiv as a potential slam here. I want to actually look at the damage chart after this fight and see what our damage profile looks like. I know it's going to change a little bit once we get Callista in, but I don't actually know what Kassadin's sort of like damage makeup is. Yeah, it's so much AP. I know he's auto attack reliant. Ooh, I mean, you just take that. I mean, that's probably the best augment you can get in this spot. It's another Kassadin, which is huge. This makes it really, really high priority for you to just roll down here and pick up that last Kassadin. I would roll to 30. I don't know if I would roll past 30 because it feels bad, but yeah, it looks like he just wants to send it here to try to hit. We miss. That's actually insane that we missed this hard. We finally, we found it in that last shot, right? He like rolled while he was putting stuff in. Okay, so we just find it at the last second here. So it certainly feels a little bit bad that we had to use that much gold, but we will be so much stronger for it. And yeah, he is gonna make the static ship here. I think that makes perfect sense. Surprised it's on the Ashe though. I feel like it should absolutely be on Callista instead of Ashe. But I think he just wanted to slam it for this round. But it actually feels pretty bad that it's stuck. It's going to be stuck on Ashe when we could just have it on Callista, who I feel like is going to be more of a priority for items. But yeah, I mean, now the spot looks fantastic, even though we had to roll that deep. Imagine if we had like 10, 15 more gold here in this position because we had like hit on curve, our spot would be like so insane. But still, quite a good spot. We have this Kassadin, and you guys are going to see this Kassadin just pop off in these fights. Look at this Kassadin go. Look at the shields, by the way. Now he's just barely dipping into his HP finally. The casting, getting more on-hit damage. Look at this Kassadin go boom, 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 boom. Look how much damage he does. We just barely, looks like, lose this fight, but 6k damage from Kassadin, who still needs one more item, and we're about to hit 7 Multistriker, which is really the big spike for this board. We still haven't hit our big spike here, which is 7 Multistriker, so just wait until you see that. Glove taken again, so sad, but we'll just take bow here. This can be Gwensu for, I mean, I guess Callista, but, oh, wait, okay, there's replacement Ashe. I would actually just look at moving items off of the Ashe here, just because I don't know when I'm going to have the option to do that later. And yeah, I really want this onto Callista here. Looks like Phoenix wants it on the Ashe for whatever reason. Maybe he just thinks it's fine there. My thought process is just like, we're not going to get to 3-item Callista without one of them being Shiv. I know obviously Shiv is not like BIS Callista, but it's a fine secondary carry item. But okay, well, we can stick on this board for now. Maybe the idea is that Ashe is going to actually like apply it better than Callista. I guess so, but my thought is just that like Callista is going to be a better unit. In either case, it's a pretty minor thing. And there's Callista too. So now it starts to feel really bad. But I mean, all good. We have the cloak. We have this bow open still. So yeah, we're in a slightly awkward spot. But I mean, look, our board is fully upgraded, 67 HP, and now I can really, like last fight, okay, I gassed the Kassadin up a little bit, but I'm sure there's still Kassadin non-believers in chat I mean, comments, I guess. So I'm too Twitch pilled, who are probably like, okay, but like, how much is this Kassadin really gonna do? Like, he only did 6k damage that fight. I've seen people do more, but just watch. Just sit back and watch Kassadin in motion. Watch this guy pop off. The big question at this point is, what is our next level gonna be? Probably Arcana, if I had to imagine. Chrono seems okay. We're kind of gonna get Chrono in naturally later with a Camille. So yeah, and yeah, he's actually looking here. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like it has to be onto the Callista here, and he actually kind of lucked out in hitting Callista too. Also, that's QSS dropped, and then just red buff. No, we already have red buff, so it's just Guinsoo. We already have red buff in the Sunfire. So yeah, Guinsoo looks great. Random 1 or 2 cost champion stars up, so we could actually get like a 3-star here, 3-star. I mean, we are getting a 3-star here. It's just, is it Akali? Is it Ashe? Is it Jax? And it's actually Ashe here, which is pretty good, because she's the one holding onto the Guinsoo, or onto the static shiv. So I like this a lot. And yeah, I mean, you can see this fight was a fight that I think we might have lost last time, but look at the Kassadin go. The crazy thing I feel like about this Kassadin is it's just his HP doesn't really change throughout the fight. He just sits there and just bop, 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 hits everybody. We could roll for a charm here, or we could greed this round. I feel like I'm not familiar enough with the set yet to know if it's actually correct here to roll for a charm or not. I think there are a decent amount of people who would say you're just supposed to roll for a charm, and that like stage 4 or stage 5 plus you should always have a charm. You can see, look at the right there, 6 of 8 players have charms here. So I could certainly see it being the correct play to roll for a charm here, just to get a little bit of a spike, especially because we are on a 3 streak now, a 4 streak. So we really, really want to keep our streak, but looks like Phoenix doesn't really want to go for it. Artifact Anvil here, okay. I guess Fishbone's Callista. I mean, what else really is there? We don't really have great stuff that we can throw onto a tank. Hull Crusher is really awkward, so I guess it's Fishbones here. I mean, it doesn't seem too bad. Callista's gonna auto a bunch of other units. Yeah, maybe snipe a backliner somehow. I mean, yeah, doesn't seem bad, and it's decent stats on her. Sure, I'm down for it. And hey, I mean, with that Artifact Anvil, now we're actually looking at a world where maybe it did make sense to put the static shiv on the Ashe to greed that item there, because hey, maybe now we're going to end up with like another Guinsoo onto Callista, or maybe like an Infinity Edge or something. That would actually feel pretty good, and it kind of feels like we already have enough tank stats, which is crazy because our board is not that tanky, but it's really just multi-strikers doing so much damage. Guard Breaker? Okay, yeah, I think that's probably correct. All the other items were kind of awkward. I mean, obviously ID would have been ideal, but we didn't have the opportunity to pick up an IE here. Ooh, that's actually really, really nice. Yeah, I think this is probably correct, yeah. The other option is Nora and Yumi, which is a really, really nice sort of like additional unit, but I think this is correct. And the question is who gets Guard Breaker then? Probably Camille down the line. You throw that onto Ashe, and then we're going to move it from Ashe to Camille, I guess is the idea. But oh, look at this board. Look at this Kassadin go. I mean, the Callista, obviously a fantastic sort of primary carry here. She did more damage than the Kassadin, but the Kassadin is just so synergistic with her. He's taking like basically no damage throughout the entire fight. So, I mean, it's just insane to see. Also, Emilio's just talking once again about playing the Emilio here. He's just, oh, you should check what this is. Yeah, because this makes you want to put it onto someone like a damage dealer. I would even think about Emilio maybe, but maybe I'm just too much of an Emilio lover. Yeah, it's kind of awkward that we're still sitting on this Guard Breaker. I think I would have just thrown it onto Ashe, and then the idea is you can move it to Camille later. And these are going to be like Whisk Camille, but hey, items are items. But we'll see where it ends up going. Did he end up semi during that fight? Yeah, he threw it onto Akali. Okay. But I mean, hey, we're top 2 this game, kind of effortlessly. 7 streak once we hit the Kassadin. Our board spiked really, really hard. Makes also sort of lends context to why we rolled so deep for this Kassadin, because the second we hit this Kassadin, we didn't lose a single fight. And it's not like the fights have looked close at all, right? The Burn and Wound, I think, is like not too bad here. I don't know. Blue buff Emilio for faster cast. Stare Axe on like a frontline or something. He's 130 mana, so blue buff is pretty bad on him. Yeah, just Stare Axe onto Akali. I think that's reasonable. Yeah, 130 mana. The bridge is a bit too far on the blue buff there. The value is not going to be there. It's really just the starting mana that you're getting out of that. But yeah, I mean, oh, it's us versus the Elysier augment. Hey, maybe I can do a video about that. But yeah, I mean, just look at this board, man. The Kassadin takes no damage. The Callista is an insane like primary carry at this point in the game, and it's just the 7. The crazy thing about 7 Multistriker is it gives you that damage, that healing on attack. Which is insane when you're attacking so frequently. When you're someone like this Callista, it guarantees that she can't get sniped by any backline stuff. And when you're someone like this Kassadin, it just makes sure that he's a monster here. Stunning the enemy board is really, really good for us here, because the Kassadin just walks up into the Elise along with the Callista. It's just not even close here. It looks like there's just going to be one more fight. And yeah, Phoenix here. Not looking at really the level 9, really just looking to get a good charm every single round. That doesn't do much here. Another Callista. You could pick it up just for insurance of potentially like winning the game. I don't really want to take that. Temporary Declaw is fine, right? Yeah, and you can just... Oh, okay, we just barely got that. He almost didn't get it. I just thrown him to the... Oh, wait, it's flying through the air right now. The fight might end before he actually gets to slam the Declaw. Well, it probably won't be a Declaw diff. Just throw it onto anyone, yeah. Though, honestly... Ooh... Oh my god, we do have to actually... We don't lose that fight. Oh my god. Well, look, I was trying to tell you guys how good 7 multi is, but I think that just tells the entire story of it. That Callista sitting in the edge there and just basically healing up. I was going to say healing to full, but that's an exaggeration. But just healing up, not taking any damage, just healing all the damage she's doing just because she's autoing with the Gwinsu. It's too gross. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the set release. I'm going to be streaming tonight, so... link in the description to sub to my Twitch as well. If you stayed this far and you haven't subbed to my VOD channel already, what are you doing? Link in the description to my VOD channel, where VODs from my Twitch are going, all my highlight games, so check that out if you're interested. And yeah, see you guys in the next video. Bye.